The surge in airfares to eye-watering levels during India's biggest aviation disruption in many years has pressured the government to announce some price caps for air tickets. However, the real question is if that measure is too little too late, and also why there is a cap only after a crisis. With airfares surging by as much as 10 times on some routes and more costly than many international travel destinations, the Ministry of Civil Aviation on Saturday has invoked its regulatory powers, ordering all airlines to follow mandatory airfare caps to prevent any opportunistic pricing during this crisis. The Aviation Ministry, in a notification, capped domestic airfares for all airlines. The cap is based on the distance. For under 500 kilometers, the cap is 7,500 rupees, or about $85. For a distance of 500 to 1,000 kilometers, it is 12,000 rupees. For a distance of 1,000 to 1,500 kilometers, the cap is 15,000 rupees. And for above 1,500 kilometers, the cap is set at 18,000 rupees. That's about $200. Well, after the cap notification, the prices have dropped on official airline websites. Ticket costs on some partner booking sites still remain pretty high. The surge in airfares is not a new trend in India. For air travelers, peak season and last-minute bookings almost always mean higher ticket pricing. The current crisis has drawn the government's attention because of the scale of the disruption and the cancellations. So the question is, if the government has the ability to cap airfares, should that not be a norm rather than a crisis measure? The country's reluctance to liberalize air travel and also to open up the sector has made it one of the most expensive domestic aviation markets in the world. Chronic policy failure and regulatory delays are directly responsible for the monopoly-like situation. IndiGo controls nearly 60% of the market in Indian aviation, and the other majority is held by the Air India group. And on the periphery, there are some very small carriers, but they are simply too powerless to make a difference. Out of a total of 1,200 domestic routes operated by Indian carriers, IndiGo covers 950, and according to data analyzed by the aviation researcher Ameya Joshi, over 600 routes, or about 63% of them, are monopoly routes. About 200 routes, or 21%, are duopoly routes, meaning that IndiGo has just one rival, and that is Air India. Separately, IndiGo has also responded to the regulator's show cause notice to explain the cause of the meltdown. IndiGo said that it is not possible to pinpoint the exact causes yet as to why it had to cancel thousands of its flights, resulting in complete chaos across airports in India. Now, IndiGo is asking for more time for a full root cause analysis. The DGCA has now summoned IndiGo's CEO and the COO. The regulator is also planning to cut IndiGo's flight schedules by 5% for winter. On refunds, the Aviation Ministry has said that IndiGo has processed a total of 827 crore rupees so far. And earlier it spoke with Captain Amit Singh, an aviation expert, on the need for competitive pricing and why this process needs to be transparent. Listen to what he had to say.
It has to be competitive. So you cannot charge like 90,000 forever. Nobody's going to travel. Nobody wants to pay and nobody can pay. Only if somebody is forced or if there's an emergency, somebody is going to pay. So if you want to exist in the industry, you have to have competitive pricing. Competitive pricing has to be transparent. That is the requirement by the regulator.
And we also spoke with Mr. Jayant Krishna, Senior Fellow at the Center for Strategic and International Studies, on the need for regulation. He emphasized the challenges faced by airlines operating in India. Listen.
I would definitely feel that some kind of a regulation is welcome, but over-regulation I would not recommend. Let's understand the kind of tough balancing act airlines have to do. I mean, there's between, amongst things like, robust traffic management, preventive maintenance, supply chain disruptions, delay in aircraft delivery, labor shortage, right? All kinds of things.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.